Hey everybody, back again. It's my second try at shooting this video. The first time the memory on my camera filled up. I hope I can bring the awesomeness that the first video was. You're just going to have to imagine how awesome it was because I couldn't finish it and I don't do editing because I'm just not that good with that kind of stuff. So you're going to get a whole new video instead of the previously awesome one. Just believe me, it was explosions and car crashes. I'm just kidding. Alright, so it's Easter weekend. I went out game hunting yesterday. Hit some yard sales. Hit V-Stock for a buy two get one free sale. I don't, some of you may not know what V-Stock is, but it's kind of a regional retro game, new game, movies, comic books, just kind of a geek store, I guess you could call it. But it's huge, and there's quite a few locations in Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, I think. But it's kind of a pretty cool place to hit up sometimes, especially when they have a sale. Their prices are decent, not like some retail retro game stores. And then I, of course, hit GameStop. They had a buy two get one free also on some older games, so wanted to check that out. Alright, so without talking too much longer, we'll get into it. The first three games are the ones I got from V-Stock. These have all been featured on Game Informer's replay series. I was aware that they existed before, but I had never really seen two of them played. And so when I watched the replay guys do a replay of one of them, just a short little play of it, just to kind of show what it's all about. And then I saw them play a super replay, which means they played the entire game of another. And so I'll show you those. I'll talk a little bit about them right now. First one, they did just a normal replay, just a little snippet of the game, and that's PS2 Giants Citizen Kabuto. As you can see, that one was priced at $6. This looked like a pretty cool game. It's kind of crazy, I guess. Made by Digital Mayhem, Planet Moon Studios, and Interplay looks like was the publisher on it. But it looks like a pretty cool game. I heard it got good reviews, and I seem to remember it getting good reviews when it came out, so I'm going to check this one out. Like I said, it looked very interesting when they played through it. And if you haven't watched Replay, I'd suggest you get on Game Informer's website and go to the Replay Hub and just check out some of the videos. There's like 200, I guess, replays, maybe more than that now. I've seen every single one of them, and they're all very entertaining. The guys on there are constantly entertaining. But yeah, definitely check it out. And the Super Replays even more so. I'd recommend you check out one for a game called Overblood. One of the best super replays, and there's a Facebook group dedicated to replay called I Watched the Entire Overblood Super Replay. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a very cool little group on the internet. It gets a little crazy sometimes, but you know, you might want to check that out on Facebook if you're on there. Next, this is the game they did the super replay of. It's Galarians, which is kind of a survival horror game for PS1. It's a crazy game, man. They played the whole thing. I watched them play the whole thing. And you know, the game doesn't look too bad. Some of the boss battles are just weird and probably very difficult. I'm actually going to check this one out because just the pure craziness of it and the survival horror type thing, tank controls of course, something I want to check out. This is a 3-disc monster for PS1, so it's got some actually decent graphics from watching that playthrough. PS1 decent, I guess you could call, but Galarians. So I picked that up. That one's priced at $9.99. And then the last one is a game I used to have. I don't know what happened to it, but it's Fear Effect. They played this on replay actually just maybe a couple weeks ago, if even that. I had this one when I was younger, played through it. Pretty sure I beat this game, but I can't remember. Again, this is kind of like a tank control game, but it looks decent for PS1 era because it's cel shaded. So it's not so bad, but it's still got the polygon graphics that just haven't held up well at all for PlayStation 1. So if you get a chance, check that one out. It's not a bad game. There's actually a sequel for it also, and pretty cool games. I played the sequel also, but I never owned the sequel. And I am looking for the sequel, but it's a little bit more expensive, a little harder to find. So check out Fear Effect if you get a chance. Check out the replay of it if you want to know more about it, obviously. Next, I hit some yard sales. And got 6 games and then a little something else at a yard sale I'm going to show you. First I went to a yard sale just down the road from my house, not too far, a couple miles maybe at most. And I was walking around, the guy's like, hey, you looking for anything in particular? And I was like, well, I was looking for video games. He's like, oh, like new video games or old video games? I go, pretty much anything, because I'll buy just about anything if I want it. So he's like, okay, let me run in the house, I got a bunch. And so he ran in the house, and he came up with a big stack of PlayStation 2 and Xbox games. A lot of sports games. Wasn't a whole lot there that I wanted. I think I picked about 5 games out of there that I wanted. There's a couple more that I thought about getting, but then he said he didn't have any change yet, that his wife was on her way to the bank. I couldn't hang around because I had some other stuff to do. So I was like, okay. So I looked at the games, and I picked out like 5 games. Okay. Well, I had a $10 bill and 6 ones. Well, and then one of the games, he went back in, he couldn't find the disc for it. So that was down to 4. So I was like, okay, I got 6 ones, I'll take these 3. And these are the 3 I ended up with. Probably could have bought a couple more, but he didn't have any change, so his loss, my loss sort of too. But the games were nothing special. Not like I was running any rare PS2 games, if that even really exists. But I think PS2 is going to get rarer as time passes by, so I like to buy them cheap when I can find them. First off, Soul Reaver 2. Pretty cool series. Haven't really played much of the series, but now I've got I think both the PlayStation releases on this for Legacy of Kain and Soul, and but Raziel, the main character, always a very cool character, and supposed to be a good game. Never played it, but I'm gonna check it out. Next up, I bought this one because I already had the first one, Summoner 2. It's a THQ made by Volition also, and I believe Volition is the guys who make Saints Row. I'm not certain on that. But this one's also complete. Look at this manual. This is when manuals were awesome. It's a thick manual. I miss manuals, in case you can't tell. But, you know, I haven't played Summoner 1, but at some point maybe I will. But I've got this one for the collection. And how awesome is the cover art for that? Super awesome. And then lastly, you have this one. It's a Capcom game. Chaos Legion. Complete. In great shape. Looks like it was hardly ever played. I rarely pass on a Capcom game because all of them are decent. They may not be great, but most of them are decent. And this one is like a obviously Japanese-inspired spiky hair kind of guy on the front. But I actually heard decent things about this game. It's not rare or anything, but I wanted to pick it up for sure when I saw it because I've always actually seen it other places. I wasn't going to pay like $10 for it, but for $2, just like I paid $2 for those other 2. I'm not going to pass that up. So I got that one. So $6, I got those 3 games. Not too bad. Next, this is actually the first yard sale I hit in the morning. And I looked at a box with some DVDs, and there was a few games in there. There was like a Need for Speed game, which I have no interest in. No big deal there. But then I saw these 3, and I was like, hey, how much you want for these? And the lady's like, just make me an offer. So I was like, all right, one of the games is newer. How about $7 for those 3? And she's like, cool. So first off, Pac-Man World for the PS1. I really love Pac-Man World 2. Obviously this game got a sequel, so I can't imagine this one's that bad. This is platformer from Pac-Man, and I really enjoyed the second one, so I thought I would definitely pick this up. Looks like it has some classic Pac-Man on it too, but Pac-Man World 2 was a great platformer on the Xbox, and I believe it was, I can't remember if it was on the PlayStation 2 also, but I imagine it was. But I figured why not pick it up, check it out. If it's bad, oh well, you paid like $2.33 or something, $2 1/4, $2.75 something for it. So I picked that one up. Next, PS2 game again, Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Unfortunately, not complete, and the disc is kind of on a broken thing. I need to replace this case, but I have the second one. These are actually pretty decent fighting games considering for licensed games. So I don't have the second one. I have the third one. Now I have this one, so I'm going to need to pick up the second one to kind of complete the Budokai set. But I'm not going to pass it up for the $2 and change or whatever it was. Then lastly is a PS3 game, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. I never got a chance to play this. Red Dead Redemption is probably one of my favorite games in the last few years. It's such an awesome game. So Undead Nightmare is kind of something I wanted to check out. This is obviously playing to the zombie thing these days, but they say this is really good. Complete. Disc is in great shape. So, you know, for 2 and change, you're not going to beat that. So I picked that up too. Excellent. And then my last yard sale find, Atari Flashback 2. Got this for $5. Got all the cords, power cord, 2 joysticks. There's one of them. And what's really cool, I think these joysticks, they use the exact same plug as the original Atari. So I'm assuming I can plug this into my original Atari and have it work, which is good because my original Atari joysticks are real pieces of crap because whoever had it before me did not take care of it but these are like brand new. This thing doesn't even look like it's been used. I've always wanted a flashback, and I've always thought that $5 is where my price range is for one. And when the lady said $5, I said sold. So I got an Atari flashback. I'm going to plug this up, let the kids check it out. You know, I got a 4-year-old. He's not able to play much newer games, but Atari games, you figure he can probably figure out how to play, you know, different Atari games that are on here. Certainly at least try. So kind of cool find. I've been wanting one for a while. Then lastly, I went to GameStop. And GameStop obviously doesn't deal in retro games, but I guess the Xbox 360 is a previous generation console at this point. You saw my PS3 pickup too. So I've got a few Xbox 360 games. I think I paid $13 or in change for this total. So first one, I got Front Mission Evolved. It's a Square Enix game. I'm a big fan of Square Enix. Squaresoft more so, back for the older Final Fantasies. Obviously you've seen that in my previous videos, but I've never played a Front Mission game. I've heard good things about them. I don't know much about this one. I don't remember if it got good, bad reviews or whatnot, but it looks really cool. It's obviously a mech game. So, you know, that was priced at, I'm a pro member, so that was priced at $6.29, and of course buy two get one free. Then I got Rise of the Argonauts. Front Mission's not complete either, by the way, and in a different case, but Rise of the Argonauts, again, $6.29 on that one. I heard this was not a great game, but it kind of has a cool premise. Obviously, copying, you know, looking for God of War fans to pick that one up. So I picked it up for $6.29 plus getting one free. And then the one I got free is actually complete. Wanted Weapons of Fate, which actually got pretty decent reviews. It was priced at $4.49, but obviously it was the one I got free. Heard pretty good things about this. I really like the movie, but this is actually more based on the comic book, I believe, which is a pretty good comic book too if you haven't read it. So I picked that up to add to the collection, and I actually do want to play this one, and someday maybe I'll be able to when my kids are asleep. But until then, obviously not, because it's a mature title. But anyway, so that's what I found. I figured I'd go ahead and shoot another video since I did pretty decent this weekend. As usual, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. Tell your friends. Subscribe. Thanks.